Online.com.
Coming on each Wednesday morning at 8:15 to 0900 hours. This morning we always try to start Viewpoint with a kudo or two, and go ahead, and James and listeners out there, I can't think of a better kudo that mention all the volunteers we have in the community. Two of them are right here today with us, and we're going to go ahead and introduce them very shortly. Volunteers make things work, and if it wasn't for the volunteers we have at our society, at the Humane Society, we wouldn't have a place for dogs and cats and so forth. So I'd like to introduce these young ladies.
All right.
Wait a minute. We want to get the drum roll going for them.
Drum roll? He does have a drum roll, but he's not ready for it. Caught him off guard. All right. Well, from the Humane Society of Logan County today, we have Marilyn and Lynnette Maske joining us. So, ladies, thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for asking.
They exemplify, as I said, as we signed on, some of the good things that go on in the county. People volunteering. And Lynnette and Marilyn, let's start with Lynnette first. How long have you been working with the Humane Society?
I've been affiliated just as a volunteer for about 6 or 7 years, been involved. Yeah. I've been the president for approximately 3 years.
You didn't realize you were going to get so wrapped up in that when you started volunteering, did you?
I didn't, but I am definitely an animal person, and it's a good place to spend my retirement days.
Marilyn, you've been with them a day or two.
Yes, day or two. 2006.
2006.
Is when we
Here we are.
started
That's
our
17
group.
years already.
Oh, we started up the Humane Society of Logan County.
And how did you happen to get interested in? Just because you had an interest in animals?
Animals,
dogs
and
it's
cats? Been so long I just can't hardly remember how I got. It had to do with animals, so that was it. It's been a ride. But
as you ladies go to work each day, what do you go to work there as volunteers, not paid employees? How many paid employees do we have out there?
We have 2, part-time.
Part-time.
Mm-hmm.
2 part-times.
Well, let's put it in their context. What's their biggest, other than food and water, of course, obviously, but what do you think their biggest challenge is when they go through the door each morning?
Well, they're the ones that are there day in and day out, and they greet people at the door that come in and want to just see the cats and the dogs. They feed the cats and the dogs. They work shifts out there. They clean up after them. They walk them. They take them to the vet. They do laundry. I mean, there's just a lot of things. And they do the adoptions.
The question rises, James and listeners, how the heck do you walk a cat?
Well, they play with the cats.
They
The
run
cat
around in
probably-
the office area.
The cat probably walks you.
Like
Yeah,
Mabel.
exactly. Yeah.
They hang out like Mabel.
Well, the main thing we want to talk about is there's an addition going on out there, so I'll turn the mic over to either one of you ladies, which Mrs. Maske. So let's start with what are we doing out there physically on that campus?
Well, when the shelter was built some 12 years ago, there was just only one isolation room there, so both the cats and the dogs shared the isolation room, and it just really doesn't work out well for the cats. I mean, they're scared in there, and they don't want to, they don't eat, and it's just not a good situation for them. It's very stressful. And so we decided that we thought it was time for a separate isolation room. So our plans are to add a 400 square foot addition for the dog isolation room, and then remodel the cat isolation room. So the current isolation room does not have running water, so it's not really a true isolation. But the animals that go in there after they get their vaccines, they're required to stay in there 14 days until their vaccinations are effective. So the vet comes to our facility on Thursday, so we try to take in the animals that are coming in that we can, control on Thursday so they can get their vaccines that day, and that's when their 14 days start. So the new isolation rooms will both have running water. We'll have a separate washer and dryer common area for the isolation animals' laundry to be done separately from the rest of the shelter. And it just is going to help prevent the spread of disease among the animals. That's our goal, to add the 400 square foot addition. And then right now we just have one dog kennel in the isolation room, so it also slows down our ability to take animals in, because they have to be in there for that period of time. So we have cat kennels in there, of course, but it's just going to be a better situation for them to be separated.
It is a smaller room than this room, and it only has one dog kennel in there, and a cat cage, but it has like 3 places for 3 cats or something like that, So no water, like Lynnette said, no sink. Every time you need water or anything, you have to go out, step in bleach water. I mean, it's worked, but we want to improve.
Ladies, is there such a thing anymore as a dog catcher?
I do.
In the days of my long spent youth,
It's our animal control facility.
Animal control.
we have an animal control.
Yep.
That's another word for dog catcher, Lloyd.
I guess, yes.
Now, do we have in this community a stray dog or stray animal problem?
We do.
I presume in any community
We do, and there's
have to have some of that.
Yep, there's we do have stray dog problems, and they run, but we don't have a transport vehicle, and we're not the person or the place that they would be looking for a dog. They usually would find their dog at animal control if they've been picked up and taken anywhere. That's where they go.
Mm-hmm. Animal control has to pick the dogs up. We cannot do that.
The Humane Society does not pick up
No,
dogs.
we are
And animal
over-
control is under the city of Lincoln.
Right.
County.
The county.
Yeah.
And we are overseen by the Department of Agriculture. So, no, we cannot do that at all.
Now, something just went through, and I just picked up the word county. How wide is your jurisdiction? Is it just Lincoln, or does it include county?
All county, or Logan County.
Logan County.
Mhm.
That's going to be a busy period.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very busy. We're very busy.
So you mentioned the addition that you're looking to put onto the property. I'm assuming, being a nonprofit type of an organization, the money has to come from somewhere, so perhaps you have a fundraiser coming up that's going to help with that?
We've been having fundraisers, and
And
we've been
now
having
we
a
get to the
few
reason we got the
extras.
girls here.
Yes, and like Lynnette said, we've been writing grants, and we have gotten grant money.
And we do have, you know, the addition we think will be under $200,000. In fact, I think it'll be under $190,000. But the blueprints are being worked on right now, and then we'll be able to go out and get actual estimates for what it's going to cost to do that. But we are getting money's coming in. We're soliciting funds to help pay for the facility. We have raised or designated about $80,000 so far to the project, and we have, and that includes some of the grant funds, and we have another $25,000 promised. So, you know, money's coming in, I think, at a pretty good pace.
But we want to keep working at that.
We wanna keep-
648-5510. 648-5510. Our guests this morning are Lynnette Maske and Marilyn Wheat, representing the American Humane Society. What is the professional name?
Humane Society of Logan County?
Humane Society of Logan County.
Yep.
Logan County. Mm-hmm.
And that's where you could drop a check off.
Oh, well, yes.
Now let's
We would appreciate
there
that.
might be some people out there that spend most of their time at Old Joe's and don't know where the Humane Society is. So let's describe where you're physically. Where are you located?
Right off of Old 66 on North Lincoln Parkway, 1801. If you know where Thornton's is,
Yes, ma'am.
we share a driveway.
Come right straight north.
Right.
By Mr. Burwell's. Mr. Burwell, matter of fact, donated the property for our.
No good for CE.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very nice.
How many volunteers do you have approximately?
Oh, probably a good 40 or more.
Really? How nice.
You know, there's different capacities they do. Some just do, you know, they'll come and take care of the animals. We have fundraising. There's a lot of different things that they all do.
Maintenance.
It's
So if
just,
somebody wanted to write a check, the addressee would be Humane Society of Logan County.
Right.
Would that do that?
mm-hmm. And we also, you know, we have our cemetery, our Forever Home Cemetery.
Yeah, my
And,
wife's threatened to put me there.
Oh, yes. But, like, so far this year, we've gotten $2,416 in memorials from,
Isn't that neat?
so that's pretty good for just a couple months into the first of the year. Because last year it was total around $20,000. So that's good. Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you mentioned there were different ways folks can volunteer and help out at the facility. If someone is interested in volunteering, what is the process they have to go through in order to come help out there at your facility?
Well, they have to, they can come out, I talk to them, Lynnette talked to them, and fill out an application, find out what they like to do, if they want to do help with the office work, if they want to help with fundraising. We have ladies that just do bake items, they bake, just all sorts of different things. Some people only like to take care of the cats. Mm-hmm. Some people only like to take care of the dogs only. Some come in and do laundry. We have a gentleman that comes in twice a week that does our laundry, and we have a lot of laundry. It piles up, don't we?
Yes, it does.
And painting. We have one volunteer that does all of our computer work, all of our, what do I want to say?
Security cameras and
Security
stuff like that.
cameras. He does all that for us. Just put up a brand new flag for us. So it takes a village.
Yeah, there you go.
A big village.
That old expression.
Mowing, all the outside work. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And with the, we talked about the application process for volunteering. What about if someone's interested in adopting a pet? What is the process that they go through in order to, if they're interested in adopting a cat or a dog? Or do you have other animals other than cats and dogs? Or are you just
No,
limited
just-
to those? Okay.
We've been asked to take in a few rabbits and things like that,
And
but we're
birds.
just strictly cats and dogs.
Got to be a limit somewhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Well, there is an application for that as well. So they fill it out. They come in and see which animal they're interested in. And oftentimes we don't have a ton of animals in there, so sometimes there's competition if there's a real popular variety that comes in or a beautiful cat. So we continue to take applications on on the animal that, and we just simply pick the best person for the animal. And dogs, sometimes they require, a fenced-in yard. Maybe they don't like children. They're food aggressive, and some of those things we learn from a person that maybe has relinquished the animal to us, and we pass that along to the person that wants to adopt, and then just make sure they're aware of those situations. And because the last thing we want to do is have the dog come back to us and have a failed adoption, and that happens too sometimes. There's things that they learn about the dog that maybe they didn't share with us. So, but it is a process, and just because you apply for a dog or a cat from us doesn't mean you're going to even get one, because we want to make sure that if you have animals, that you've kept them up to date on their vaccinations, and that's a big deal breaker for us. So
Very much so. And we do check that all out. Their previous vets, we check that out very well. So
On a given day, ladies, what will your census be out there? Full? And how many animals can you accommodate?
well, we had 12 dog kennels, and then we've got, of
That's
course,
not
the
very
one.
many.
No, but we've got one also in isolation, then the cat kennels in isolation, and then we've got 4 cat rooms. Not too long ago, we had 40 cats out there, and that was 10 in a room, and that was it was just a lot of cats. So,
and that's our limit from the Department of Ag, from the size of the room, of course, it goes by.
yeah.
So
And so if people are interested in adopting animals, obviously they can come out and look at the facility and see, but I'm guessing maybe you have a website or other ways people can look online
Pet
to
Finder, we use Pet Finder, and then we have our website that we post them out, so.
right, there's been people from Wisconsin, Chicago area,
Really?
big, a long ways.
Yeah,
Come and adopt our animals.
I presume it's because they have to wait so
South.
doggone long in a larger community. It's a lot more complicated, I would guess.
Well, surprisingly, like in the Chicago area, people come down because there aren't animals available. So I think during maybe the pandemic, people adopted animals and cleared their shelters. So I don't know that every facility is like that, but that's what we hear from the people that come that distance to look at our animals.
648-5510. Our guest this morning, Lynnette Maske and Marilyn Wheat, representing the Corps of Volunteers, who are extremely important to this community, whatever the activity may be. Things wouldn't function as well in Logan County without the volunteers that these ladies represent. Not only at the Humane Society, but in other, for instance, volunteers where I live, Christian Village, nursing homes such as St. Clair's Manor. They have to have paid staff, of course, but volunteers, they help a lot.
They do.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
We also have other programs. We have a spay and neuter program that we help with once a month for the community for lower price. We take them to APL in Springfield, like on a Monday. They come back on a Tuesday. We have our food pantry for the community that helps when things get tight for someone that they can get cat and dog food. We keep track of all that we have to do that also for the department. We help the veterinary assistants from $50 to $100 if someone really needs it for one of their animals that needs surgery or something like that. We have foster homes. We have foster homes for two ladies that help us, 3 ladies, with fostering animals.
I could see that happening at my house. We get an animal in our house, it's not going to leave. So it'd be no foster business.
Yeah, I know. But we have 3 wonderful ladies that do, the 2 do cats, kittens, bottle. I mean, that's a
That's wonderful.
24/7 job doing that.
Speaking of jobs, Jim and Lloyd and I aren't going to have jobs if we don't start paying obeisance to our commercial sponsors. Go right ahead, James. live at the station here, WLCN. The program, of course, is Viewpoint, appearing each Wednesday morning. This morning we are honoring guest volunteers extraordinary, is what I would say, Lloyd. Marilyn Wheat and Lynnette Maske, who are volunteers. And they just couldn't run that place without good volunteers at our Humane Society. Logan County Humane Society out there on the north side of town, next to Gene Burwell's old office building. And they do a lot for us. So go ahead, Mr.
Absolutely.
Kirby.
As Mr. Gossett said, you've obviously got volunteers that help you out. Have you had, how long do volunteers tend to stick around with you folks? I would guess if they're animal lovers, they're probably pretty committed.
We have some long-term. They've been there from the almost from the get-go, really. One in particular just retired this year. She spent 12 years there as a volunteer, and she was our go-to person on Fridays. She would come in on Friday mornings, and she would be the one that would, get in the kennel with the dogs, try to calm them down if they just got there and they're nervous. Play with them, walk them, she did everything there. And she would most generally not leave there till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And a volunteer like that walks out of there with a lot of satisfaction in their heart.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You just know that they're not doing it because I'm supposed to do it.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they want to do it.
Well, and when she left, she was such a dedicated person, and we all just absolutely loved her. We had a nice reception for her, but I know she's going to come back at some point, and does. So we just let her keep her key and her code so she could get in the building when she wants to, and she's just a wonderful person. We were really
when it's working,
lucky to have.
why mess with it?
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead,
And
Marilyn.
we have another lady that's been there 11 years. She does cats. So, there's a lot of years there of volunteering.
So we mentioned before about being a volunteer organization or a nonprofit organization, having different fundraisers. You've also got another event coming up that I saw the flyer for as far as JoJo's adoption celebration. You want to tell us what's happening with that?
Well,
in the background?
Julie King from the Christian Homes got a hold of us, so I think it was in January or so, and they wanted to adopt a dog for the assisted living home there, and wanted to know if we could keep an eye out for a goodie, for her, with the residents, which we did. It took a little while. The doggy actually came from a hoarder. That's another story.
Another problem in Lincoln.
Another story, but anyway, that's where JoJo came from, and she's a sweet dog. Julie came out and met her, and we took her there. She's there fostering, and it's just working out wonderful. The residents just really love her, and she loves them. Like Lynnette says, meets them at the door, meets everyone at the door. She's the greeter. So we're going to have a celebration. The Woods Foundation Gardenville is the name of the assisted living facility, and it's March the 22nd, I think. What's that time from 2 to
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
2 to 4,
here.
okay. That's when Julie wants to have it, and the whole town's invited. It's going to be an open house. I think Judge Funk's going to be there, some of the city people, and it's really great for the facility at Christian Village.
So the dog is going to basically become a resident of the
yes,
village.
they are adopting. Yes, yes.
I think of the poor dog. Who in the heck would name a dog JoJo? I'm not sure you like your dogs very well if you're going to hang a moniker like that on them.
JoJo, she's a sweetheart.
Well, that was her name when she came to us.
So I don't know.
So this is a fundraiser, so it's important that people show up.
Well, this isn't exactly at the nursing home. That's not a fundraiser. It's just a big celebration.
They are accepting donations for the Humane Society, though, right?
Yes, I think Julie did put
Right.
that on.
Yep.
That she does.
It'd be okay to bring an extra $5 in your pocket, drop in the bucket. wouldn't
That
it?
or
okay with us.
I think she means, I don't know, soaps or anything like that, items that we could use. Or
Items that you can use. Of course, the little rascals eat every day. Whence cometh your source for your food for your animals out there?
It's
Are those bought-
donated a lot. We use a Purina dog chow,
Uh-huh.
Purina cat food. We stick to one kind of food, obviously for stomach issues. And a lot of it's donated, and then there's times where we have to buy food, cat litter. Matter of fact, I just
So again,
got
if somebody just wanted to come by and drop you $10, that would go for a good cause.
they were good for a great cause. Plus, people drop off food to us quite often, canned. I mean everything. And then if it's not the brand we use, we help with a food pantry. So, and then of course we do have fundraisers throughout the year, and we've got a Culver's night coming up. We've pretty much every month there's a fundraiser coming up, especially for the addition.
Are there
got-
particular items that you're in need of that you need more than particular other things, or is a monetary donation the best way to support you so that you can use it to purchase what you need?
Well, we use a lot of laundry detergent, I know that, paper towels, cleaning supplies. People give us gift cards.
Bleach, we use a lot of bleach.
We use bleach as our number one infectant, and we have to do that, of course. Just things like that. Office supplies, paper. I mean, we use just like a house, everything. So.
And just happened to look at my resources. March 23rd, actually, is the night at Culver's where the Humane Society of Logan County will be the beneficiary between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. if you purchase food from Culver's and let the worker know you want your food to donate or to count toward the fundraiser. Then I believe it's 10% of the proceeds gets donated to your organization.
Yes.
So that's March 23rd, which is a Thursday, it looks like. So you can support the Humane Society in that way and get some good food to eat as well.
We do have cans too. People bring out donation. I mean, it's, you think of it as small, but it isn't really. People bring a lot of cans to us.
It
And,
brought us over $700 last year.
Oh, wow.
So, it's very worth it.
So cans as far as like taking them in and recycling.
Taking them in,
Right.
we take them to the iron and metal. We have a volunteer that just does that. But it's, like I said, it takes a village.
And if people want to take them directly there, they can say that this is a donation for the Humane Society, and they'll make sure that we get credit for that.
Very nice.
There's so much going on, more than people even realize, but that's like everywhere.
Sure.
You know.
You mentioned you have fundraisers. Is there a certain number that you have per year, or are there different types of fundraisers you have throughout the year? What are some of the things that your organization typically does to raise funds?
Well, we have the common ones that we do, like the garage sale, for example, and the American Legion pie and breakfast sale. So we do those routinely. Ales for Tails, formerly called Pints for Paws. We've done that annually for several years. But we also have some others that somebody contacted us recently that wants to have a Pampered Chef party for a period of a week and donate a certain portion of the proceeds from there to the Humane Society as well. But what we've listed here is what we have going on so far. There'll be others that we'll be putting together, like as potential new ones even, new opportunities to raise some money.
We tend to think of this as our Humane Society, meaning the city of Lincoln, and we need to remind ourselves, so I'm speaking to our listeners out there, both of you pay attention, that this is a county-wide. So we're serving the county with this Humane Society. So it's very important that we realize that. Villages like New Holland, Beeson, Broadwell, Burtonview, all those big
Mount
cities.
Pulaski.
Mount Pulaski. Well, seriously, Elkhart.
Yeah.
They have, the bigger they are, the more problems they have.
Right,
And those problems exist every day.
We do have volunteers that come from McLean and Atlanta and
Wow.
Mount Pulaski, thinking New Holland. So they do help us also with that.
In addition to your fundraising events, I've seen on our community calendar you've had some adoption events at different sites throughout the town. How do those work in terms of, there are animals there, and if someone's interested in adopting, I'm assuming they can't take the animal on the spot, that they have to go through the vetting process and so forth?
Right. We actually just had an event where we had cats at Farm and Home. They were doing a fundraiser for us out there, and we were there and had a few animals. But we, because of our insurance, it's not recommended that we take dogs out we could have a small dog probably in a kennel, but they just can't come out of the kennel for obvious reasons. But cats, they're kind of easier to leave in the kennel, but we don't let them come out and be handled either, just because of fear they might run out the door.
Sure.
That's
They
all
get
we
scared.
need. Yeah. So, but yeah, they can come out to the shelter and get to know an animal and adopt it from there.
I'm just sitting here thinking, if a guy or lady has an ego problem, they go out there and they're told they don't qualify to adopt, that'll take care of the ego problem in a hurry.
Yes. But the one we did have at Farm and Home did bring adopters out. They and some volunteers out. Filled out. We had the paperwork out there also, and it worked out very well.
We have a couple of groups that are volunteers from, like Mount Pulaski High School. They have a bunch of kids there that come over, and they pretty routinely come over to play with the cats and the dogs and see them. And then we have a memorial behavioral group that comes out weekly, and they come out and they also interact with the cats and the dogs, and they especially like to go outside in nice weather to see the dogs. And we had a dog named Brownie that's still there, but I watched him come flying out of his kennel and stuff, and he jumped up on this kid that happened to be in a wheelchair and just jumped up on his head and was licking him all over the place. And they love that, and
They
the animals
love
do
that.
too. I mean, they really
The residents
have a great
love
time.
that. They come once a week, like Lynnette said, and we have several schools around town that bring the kids for classes and pet and talk with the animals. And
I'm just sitting here thinking, well, that's a way to fill up a dead Saturday night. Let's go out and play with the cats.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it teaches the kids, how to take care of animals and not to be cruel to animals. It's a learning process too for them, I think.
Well, that's why we want to bring you ladies on this morning to just do a little screaming out about our Logan County Humane Society. It's really important to us here.
It very
It's important
well
to the
is.
entire community, not just those of us without animals. It's important to the animal owners. A matter of adoption, if let's say I decided Monday morning that I wanted to adopt a dog, where do I start?
Well, we're closed on Monday, so you wouldn't be able to come out.
You have to call my cell phone. I'll meet you there.
Yeah. But Tuesday, well, you would just come out and look at all the animals and see what catches your eye or catches their eye. It takes a certain kind of times just to hit it off and fill out your application.
Have you seen a
Check you out.
situation where there's an immediate rapport between the animal and the possible adopter?
Yes, we have.
The one that just
That's interesting.
Ziggy was the one that we just adopted out. That happened. So, but we've had several of those. You just get the right feel.
That's got to be very satisfying to realize
is.
that it seems to
Very.
be a good mix for the dog and cat, or cat
person.
and your adopter
Yes.
family.
And then there's time, of course, you get the feel that it's not going to work, or not a good fit, as we say, for their household.
So prior to, just thinking about the Humane Society, what year did it come into existence?
2006.
So what happened with animals prior to the Humane Society's existence in terms of if people were interested in adopting or no longer able to care for animals? Were they just dropped off at the local animal control? Or
The biggest part was, yes, the animal control dumped out in the country. And then, of course, at that time, animal control wasn't very big, and they had to put a lot of, animals down. And so this helps a lot.
or they'd have to travel to another shelter that was in the area.
Is there an individual who will go about the county seeking strays, or do you get a call for a
We have
strays
actually
periodically?
a new program that Clint Pollock and his team, he handles the transport for the shelter. It's called Feral to Farm, and they, as they can work to trap cats. Now, that's not an easy job to do, and they have to try often several times before they can get them. But the goal is to trap the cat, get the cat fixed, get it a rabies vaccine, get its ear clipped, and then find a farmer. They have a list of farmers that want animals, but the goal is to get them fixed before they go to a farm. And so that's a new program that's just starting up.
Feral cats. And then he's trapped cats and kittens in walls and basements and things where people would call and they're in their house or, you know, but Clint, and they're really good cats and have gotten good homes, and yeah, that's a lot.
Do people ever show up looking for a specific breed that they want to adopt?
They do.
That's
Oh
interesting.
yeah, they do.
They do.
Is there would you hazard a guess at what's be the most popular?
Well, they like beagles. They like, a lot of people like small dogs. Harder dogs are larger dogs are a little bit harder to adopt out. Collies, labs.
Particular kinds of cats. You know, we've
Particular kinds
had
of
people
cats.
looking for larger cats. There's a cat that's hypoallergenic cat called a blue Russian, which I had never even heard of that before. But they apparently, you know about them and were interested. And we did get one, but it went to Chicago.
Yes.
It's living in a condo overlooking Wrigley Field.
Oh.
Yes, and long-haired cats. Some people just like long-haired cats, and we get those too. Not as many, but and they go quickly. Of course, kittens go quickly, and so.
We talked about if people were interested in adopting, they can come out and see. But you mentioned Mondays you're closed. What are your hours of operation out there?
We're open 10 to 2, Tuesday through Saturday, or otherwise by appointment, because the part-time employees are still there after 2 o'clock, so they can make accommodations for that.
Now there's a fee that has to be transferred there. Obviously, there got to be a fee somehow. So describe what it would cost to adopt any breed of dog.
Puppies and dogs are $230, and then
Say that again, please, Lynnette.
the puppies and dogs are $230.
Yeah.
And then if they are 8 years, they're considered 8 years plus. They're considered a senior dog. They would be $200. And then if you live in Logan County, there's an additional fee for the rabies vaccine, the rabies tag. So they have to be registered in Logan County. So we give them the vaccine if they hadn't already received it, and we give them the tag when they adopt at our facility. And cats, of course, because of the number of cats we have had out there, and we're trying to, get the numbers down. They've been on sale for $100. So, and if you're a volunteer, we take $50 off of any adoption. So that's also a benefit to being a volunteer.
Of course, that doesn't cover the cost of the animal because any animal that leaves our facility is up to date on every shot that it needs. It's spay or neutered and microchipped. So, as veterinarian vet fees, that doesn't cost. It costs.
Now, are your animals microchipped?
Yes.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
And that means that if a dog is picked up, you can determine its owner.
It came from us, or you could do the owner. Yes.
And we do have people that
Yeah.
have lost or picked up a dog and have brought them to us to run our microchip reader on them to see if we could find a microchip. So it's very helpful.
And cats.
You think we ought to get Lloyd microchipped?
It hurts. It's a big needle.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
Yes.
It is. That's interesting.
Yes, it is. So, well, they have to get that little chip in there.
Normally, if they need to be spayed or neutered, they do it while they're under, so they don't know that
Oh,
happened.
by the way, as a matter of side issue entirely, but on television, I pick it up often. I kind of enjoy it. There's a program with a veterinarian out in the West, I think Denver, Colorado, I believe so. Pretty interesting. Big clinic.
Oh,
And his wife was redheaded. I noted that right away.
but it was a big, nice one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have good veterinarians in Logan County also.
Oh, we sure have good
All-
veterinarians.
all-
We have
all three
good
places.
offices there. We're pretty well covered.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We work with all of them, and it's good.
Okay. And we got local groans.
Yes.
Dr. Rage comes to mind immediately. He's
Right.
been sitting in your seat for And he's a very good guest, isn't he, Lloyd?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been
And
here a
Dr.
time
Bill.
or two.
He's a homegrown, well, San Joe's, I don't know, area, but
Yeah, we'll claim him.
Yes.
So we mentioned, as far as the Humane Society of Logan County having several fundraisers to help with your operating costs. We mentioned the Culver's event happening on March 23rd. Do you have any coming up in the not too distant future that you might want to let folks know about?
well, we always have our, like we said, our annual, I think this is about the 14th year. We've had our big, large garage sale out at the fairgrounds on Route 66 weekend, and it's always a big fundraiser for us. People, we start about 2.5 weeks prior, and people drop off a lot of nice things for us to sell. It's lots and lots of work.
I'm sure. And for people who may not be aware how that works, members of the community can drop off items
Yes.
at your facility, I'm guessing, or are there drop-off days at the fairgrounds?
At the fairgrounds, we have drop-off days, and we will be posting the hours and days for that. We're always out there. The fairgrounds is very nice. We have a wonderful fairgrounds. They're good to us. We're always in the big yellow building. I call it my building.
That's okay. You can do that if you wish.
I do. I have my key, so there we
There
go.
you go. There you go. 648-5510. This is your last chance to talk to two very important volunteers in our community. Mrs. Maske, Lynnette Maske, First Lady of Elkhart. Or at least we're going to
Yes,
leave her
she
to
is.
this
Former
morning.
First Lady of the
And Marilyn Wheat, who was difficult to bring her off the golf course to get her in here so we could talk to her. She's smiling already. The weather's starting to get nice now, so she's out there. God love you. So 648-5510. You call in and tell these ladies thank you, if nothing else. We want to make sure that they are appreciated for the things that they do. They're volunteers. I specify that. It's very important to us, Lloyd.
And of course, they get all the perks. They get to come hang out with you for a while. So hey,
That's right.
That's something.
I wouldn't count that much of a perk, my friend.
So we mentioned the fundraisers. Just to recap for the audience who may be tuned in later, you also have the adoption celebration coming up for JoJo at the Christian Village. And you want to give us the specific details about that again, just for folks who maybe didn't catch it the first time?
Well, it's going to be March the 22nd. And I forgot the time. I've got so much on my
2
mind.
to 4.
2 to 4. And I think Julie's asked if anyone wants to bring something, a check or bottle of bleach or anything like that. But JoJo's being adopted at the assisted living facility, and she's already been there for a little while being fostered. The residents just love her. Everyone loves her out there, and she loves her new home. So we also have our Culver's night coming up. That is the 23rd. That's
By
from
the
5
way,
to 8.
That establishment and others in the community do the same thing.
They do.
Sometimes donating a portion of their proceeds to the particular charity of the day. And it's very nice of them to do that. So, Ewing, thank you very much.
Yes, Culver's is a great place also. We have a great facilities in Logan County and Lincoln. Then our garage sale, of course. Well, the American Legion big breakfast on Mother's Day. We have a Mother's Day breakfast and our big pie sales. Last year we sold 45 pies
Oh, wow.
at our breakfast.
And they go fast.
And yeah, they go quickly. And like I say, we have wonderful bakers in Logan County, so that's what they do. And it also is a big fundraiser for us. The American Legion is very, very good to us also. It's a great spot. And then, of course, our garage sale we talked about, and that's a big one coming up too. And that'll be here before we know it, June. It just will. Time flies. And then trying to raise money for our addition. That's what we want to. We're hoping to break ground this spring, right, Lynnette?
Yep.
And we went. Jeff Short is our project manager, who I don't know if you know Jeff, anyone, but he's a great guy.
And he's also a volunteer. He and his wife volunteer to take care of the dogs.
Brenda and Jeff Short.
And he helps us with maintenance.
Yeah, he does maintenance. Tom Larson does digging of our graves and takes care of our cemetery, which he knows what he's doing there. Of course, Jeff is dealing with all kinds of local people to help building the addition. So
We
contractors.
appreciate the ladies taking their time to visit with us, ladies and gentlemen. Marilyn Wheat and Lynnette Maske, representing the volunteers, and I emphasize that word again. Without people like these two ladies, they wouldn't run our Humane Society. They wouldn't be able to operate it. No heads. So thank you very much, ladies, for being with us, and thank you for being with Viewpoint.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for asking and having us.
The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.